Normandy, a region in north of France, known for its rolling countryside, its creamy camembert cheese, the D-Day's landing beaches, and its Viking heritage. Today, we are heading to one of Normandy's most celebrated sites, a place that's rivaled even Mont Saint-Michel in fame. Join me at the edge of the cliffs of Etretat. Welcome to France, and especially in Étretat. Étretat is one of Normandy's most famous tourist attractions outside of Paris. The town first gained prominence in the mid-19th century as a fashionable seaside resort, following the arrivals of the railway connecting Paris to the coast at Le Havre in 1847. However, Etretat achieved international renown largely thanks to the arts. The paintings of Monet, as well as writers such as Maupassant and Maurice Leblanc, the creator of Arsène Lupin. The best way to get from Paris to Etretat is by bus, which take approximately 4 hours and cost between 14 to 28 euro. Alternatively, you can take a train to Bréauté and then a bus to Etretat, which takes around less than 3 hours. Of course, you can come by car and you can enjoy a scenic and romantic route into the Bocage Normand, a terrain of mixed woodland and pasture. But Etretat is a famous village, and so parking is very expensive. It will cost 3 euros per hour. Of course, remote parking is open during the high season, starting 7.5 euro for 5 hours. The village itself is tiny, around 1,500 residents, one main street, and a pebble beach rather than sand.
Is it beautiful? Yes. It's beautiful, ne? So here, as you can see, there is bunkers who have been built for the Second War, and there you can see the after the Allies raids in Dieppe in 1942, the German force decided to build the Atlantic walls in order to make the landing impossible, and there were 1,500 mines were buried on the beach. 19 concrete bunkers were built between the cliffs. So we have one just here and another one just here. As you can see, just nearby the Etretat cliff.
The bunker at Etretat are World War II remains from the German-built Atlantic Wall. The coastal defense system was constructed to block an Allied invasion.
Now we will go upon the cliff, on the top of the cliffs. It will be quite a way.
What makes Etretat famous are the dramatic cliff formations. Especially l'Aiguille, the needle, a 70-meter spike of chalk rock rising straight out of the sea, along the natural arches carved into the cliff by erosion. There are 3 major cliff formations, each one with a different shape and character. The local call them aval, amont, and manport. On the top of the cliff we can see the village of Étretat, but as well a golf course just behind the cliffs.
So the beautiful cities just behind here. This is the Etretat, but we're gonna go up now.
The hike to the cliff of Etretat, it's quite easy, and it would take you a bit 1 hour back and return.
Yeah. So when I was kid, we were usually going there, but there is many accidents who happen while you are in Etretat because of the wind, and mostly the danger number 1 is the erosion. So as you can see on this panel, you have a dangerous access with the erosion by infiltration of the water, and underneath, as you can see, there is like erosion by the wind and the waves. How stunning it is. It's really wonderful. And now we will go inside. Look, Marie-chan is just here. Hey. This is wonderful. So on the top of the cliff. Whew. How it is? Is it stunning, no? It's very cool, no? How do you think about like Etretat? I think that the big issues here in Etretat, you don't know for how long it's gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be destroyed in a year or 2 or 5 years. It's something, over tourism I've destroyed it, but as well nature is the most strongest force. As a kid, it was possible to go there, but now it's over because of the erosion. Before, Etretat was much more like accessible by foot, but now they have put some barrier and it's even better. That's very stunning. Mite. So let's say that here Arsène Lupin, the famous characters and thief, put his treasure, all his treasures in this part.
In 1907, a French writer, Maurice Leblanc, published a story. His hero was a gentleman thief named Arsène Lupin, charming, brilliant, impossible to catch. France's answer to Sherlock Holmes, except Lupin is the criminal, not the detective. In one of the most famous stories, Lupin comes to Etretat. He hides a secret, a treasure, a mystery, inside the hollow rock of the coast. The ones locals called l'aiguille creuse, the hollow needle. The story was a massive hit. People started arriving in Étretat just to stand in front of that rock and think about Lupin.
So, it's cold. It's worth it. Have you seen that? Amazing. I don't know if you can hear me with the wind, but like, that's really stunning. And I wish to see a bit the city and present you more about what to see around Étretat.
Etretat is known for its chalk formations, but it gained its celebrity mostly because it was painted by Claude Monet. The light in Normandy moves fast. A cliff that looks pale and quiet at 8 a.m. looks almost orange by noon. Then blue-gray by evening. The sea changes color by the cloud. The shadow shifts by the hour. For a painter obsessed with capturing light, this place was almost like a paradise. What Monet understood, unlike most visitors, was the cliffs are not a single thing. There are thousands different things depending on the precise moment one looks at them. The cliffs were always the same. They were never the same.
So those parts are for putting some baths for changing. Usually it's for changing, and you can put your bath towels, or even maybe for renting some stuff. Oh, there is some more explanation. Let's have a look.
France adopted the practice of therapeutic sea bathing from England in the late 18th century. Towns like Dieppe were among the first to embrace it. Indeed, Dieppe is often regarded as the first French seaside resort. However, it was primarily the rise of the railway that drew the bourgeoisie to this small Norman village. Etretat became one of the first places in the world where people did not bath in the sea but contemplate its grandeur. Etretat is one of the most visited places in Normandy. Yet, Normandy is vast, and most visitors only scratch the surface. The Pays de Caux stretches 4 kilometers inland. Here, you can discover small villages, ancient abbeys, markets, and a coastline that see hardly any visitors. but if you spend a week in Normandy, you will enjoy a unique experience. One that is hard to describe once you return home. In the futures, we'll showcase other facets of France, and I will try to show you the heart of French culture. So don't forget to subscribe to Tako Venture.